So last night I was scrolling through Google, just kind of see what was on my For You page. Because, every once in a while I might find something interesting on there. And anyway, and might actually read it. Though that's extremely rare. For the most part, I just kind of get rid of a lot of it. But every once in a while, something will catch my eye. Well, last night, something did catch my eye. And it's something that I'm just not a big fan of. So, so you guys probably already know about the whole, oh, we need to protect children bull crap. Online bull crap. Well, apparently Sony, or PlayStation, is planning on inserting some on January 1st of next year. Uh, Now, I know a lot can happen between now and January 1st. Crud. Hang on. No. But anyway, yeah, I know a lot can happen between now and January 1st. Huh? But this just something I just had to get out of my system. So basically, from what I read, let me pull it up again. Hang on. But basically, it's the whole we need to protect children bullshit online and stuff again. And here it is. Okay, it says here, this by Game Rant, PlayStation rolls out age verification requirements. Um, and here's what all it says. Oh. PlayStation will begin rolling out age verification measures sometime later this year to comply with global regulations, according to a message from Sony Interactive Entertainment to PlayStation users worldwide. Users who fail or refuse to verify their age will be unable to access voice chat or messages from their PlayStation console. Sony's age verification measure is the latest in a line of similar changes that have been undertaken by gaming companies and regulators alike. In late 2025, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed the Digital Age Assurance Act (AB 1043) into state law, which would require all devices that have operating systems to implement an age check upon creating an account. Given the broad scope of AB 1043 within California, this would likely force Sony to add an age check to each PlayStation console that can access the internet. AB 1043 goes into effect January 1st, 2027. So, and there's actually more here. But basically, what I find stupid here is that whenever that rolls around, why should I have to verify my age to play games online? Why should I have to verify um, anything to even visit with my online friends? Why should I have to verify my age to play my games? Which, by more on that in a minute. Um, they do mention some of the exceptions here, which I'll get to in just a minute. But basically, my point is, why should I have to verify my age to even visit with people online? Like my friends. Why should I have to verify my age to do anything anymore? And I know some of you guys are probably like, oh, this is just the government's way of surveilling us or whatever, but please don't. I don't really like reading that stuff. I already get stressed out when it comes to politics. And I know Governor of California is a little bit of political thing, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if it's the same, if that goes under the category of politics, but that's a little different. But aside from that, um, but aside from that, um, I just get a little stressed out when stuff like that is brought up, and I really don't like thinking that. So please leave that stuff out of the comments and leave that stuff to yourself. I know how it sounds, but I do not mean that to be rude in any shape or form. I just get stressed around politics and stuff like that. But yeah, so that to me is just stupid. Like, I shouldn't have to verify my age to visit with people. I shouldn't have, well, at least with my friends online, which isn't a lot. A lot. But my point is, I shouldn't have to verify my age for anything. And yet, we have these assholes trying to make age verification a thing, basically punishing gamers for lazy parenting. But anyway, here's some more. I just had to stop right there and kind of bring that up, which I will be doing again after I read this next bit. Following news that platforms like Steam have implemented age verification measures in countries like the UK to comply with local laws. Sony stated, I can't even read, that it would implement its own measures across the globe. Sony Interactive Entertainment stated via an email to some PlayStation users that would implement age verification sometime later in 2026. However, Sony stopped short of offering a precise date for its age verification enactment. Users who fail or refuse to comply with the age verification requirement will be unable to use voice chat or messages. Oh, okay. We're good. I just thought I already read this, but it's very similar to the last one. But anyway, users who fail or refuse to comply with the age verification requirement will be unable to use voice chat or messages on a PlayStation console until they verify their information. Sony stated that it is a one-time check that would take just a few minutes to complete, and that doing so in advance would allow them to continue accessing voice chat and text features. So from what I understand there, if you have um, of course. So from what I understand, it sounds like PlayStation app should be fine, but I really don't know here. I don't really know if they mean like just for consoles and the PlayStation app, or if they mean both. I don't really know much about it. But anyway, it says here, note, according to PlayStation's FAQ section, for this announcement, age verification will roll out and be effective in June 2026. Users will lose access to the following features if not verified: messages, voice chat, broadcasting parties, Discord integration. So yeah, that is just a lot of BS. And it says here, it doesn't lock out all features, so that's good at least. It says here, however, the age verification measure from Sony stops short of a complete lockout of system features. Sony added that access to other PlayStation services, including the PlayStation Store, trophies, and playing games, will not be impacted by any age verification measures. According to a Reset Era forum thread, Sony's email has been received predominantly by users in the UK and Ireland, with some users comparing it to the age verification measures Xbox implemented within those nations in late 2025. It is unclear how many other countries or territories will be impacted by the rollout. Sony's age verification email notice reads as follows. Hang on, let me get a drink real quick. At Sony Interactive Entertainment, we are committed to creating safe, age-appropriate experiences for players and families while respecting privacy and giving players and parents meaningful control over their gaming experience. And now that I read that out loud, That doesn't make any sense. Giving players and parents meaningful control over their gaming experience. Bullshit. Bullshit. I call bullshit right here. There's a reason there's parental controls on PlayStation. And yet, they don't want to deal with that crap? What in the world? Huh, weird. But yeah, anyway, as part of our compliance with global regulations, you'll need to verify your age later this year to continue using PlayStation communication features such as messages and voice chat. You will still be able to access other PlayStation services like games, trophies, in the store if you do not verify your age. This is a one-time check and usually takes a few minutes. Completing it ahead of time will help you continue accessing communication features when you want to use them. But yeah, it's so stupid. Apparently, I guess it's going to happen in June this year instead of January 1st, but wait a minute. Now I'm confused. So it said later this year, but then it says January 1st, and now they're saying it'll be June of this year? Okay, can someone explain to me how that works? I'm a little confused here. But anyway, um, the implementation of age verification measures has been a controversial and negative topic for gamers, to say the least. Earlier in 2026, when Discord announced that it would implement age verification across the entire platform, some users responded by migrating to other voice chat apps and canceling their Discord Nitro subscriptions out of protest. Discord then announced it would delay its age verification rollout to the second half of 2026 and said it would be more transparent about the process moving forward. Additionally, games like Roblox have run into issues with their own age verification measures, as users stated their chat histories have been erased as a result. Given the negativity surrounding the state of age verification laws across the globe, time will tell how Sony's plans will fare by comparison. And that's it. There is a comment here that I will read, but I 100% agree with this comment here. But basically, it's so dumb. Like, what is the point of age verification when there's parental controls on the system? I'm sick and tired of lazy ass parents allowing their children to get on there and throwing a fit about how we need to protect children when in reality they're just dumbing their responsibility on gamers. And I don't know if anyone remembers this, but or if you guys even saw my video, my 4-part series on YouTube, the little shorts, I guess. But me and my but just as a reminder, me and some of my friends were on Call of Duty WW2 playing Infected, and there was a kid in there, and he was in there just playing the game. And honestly, I don't really have much of an issue with it, because like some kids, all right, fine. But this one really had no restraint, because like this kid was giving out his name and his age, and this kid was 10 years old giving out his name and age. Like, I wish I was just making this up. Like, it was his actual name. And anyway, long story short, um one of my friends went in there, gave him a heads up, and this kid was being a little cocky about it. I don't remember now. And anyway, it was so dumb that me and my friends were just not exactly thrilled about it. In fact, when he gave out his real name, it was like with a bunch of strangers too. Like it was me and two other friends, maybe three other friends, I don't remember now. But we were in the voice chat, party voice chat. But there were like 4 or 5 other strangers in there, and it just didn't go well. And it went well, but I don't think they spoke any English, so we're good there. Anyway, long story short, dude went in there. That's one of my friends. Told him that, hey, you cannot be giving your name out. You cannot be giving your age out like that. Do not do that. And that kid was being a complete smartass, from what I understood. Like, I wasn't in there or anything, but from what Doom said, he was being a complete shit. Or I guess not really shit, but like being really cocky about it, telling that you don't tell me what to do, and you know. But yeah, like I said, it was so stupid. But anyway, back to the thing at hand. I just had to bring that up just to kind of remind you guys, if y'all have not seen my video, my shorts on it. But anyway, but yeah, it was. But yeah, this whole thing just really needs to just stop. Much like with the AI bubble that needs to pop, this is also another bubble that needs to pop. And assholes quit acting like we need to protect children when in reality they're the ones allowing children to go online without anyone monitoring them, getting in trouble. In fact, there's actually one person I knew, um, or a kid online I remember meeting one time, and his parents, or sorry, their parents thought I was a pedophile. File because of that kid being able to visit with me. I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to say whatever. But I will say this kid I happen to be still friends with, but they did straighten it out, so we're good there, thankfully. But stuff like that really does need to be taken care of. Although I haven't really visited with them in a while. But aside from that, we'll kind of visit every once in a while, play a little bit of Fortnite, just every once in a while. But the difference between this kid and that one on Call of Duty is that this one knew a lot of the internet safety. But this other kid did not. I will say this, I do kind of find myself thinking about it and kind of laughing at it now. Because, it's kind of ridiculous that anyone would think that. But, I guess it is kind of understandable because, like, I probably think the same thing. But not to an extreme, you know? But anyway, here's the comment on the little thing by Game Rant. Ridiculous. How many times have they been hacked now? I don't even like them having my real phone number, but they refuse to send emails for 2FA like Xbox does. People need to push back hard on this garbage. Let people be reasonable for parenting their own kids. The internet just keeps getting worse for the rest of us to protect the children. The adults are arguably worse than the children. Can't use this word, can't use that word. You don't like the word, someone else chooses to express themselves. That's literally why the block feature was invented. Stop whining to mommy everywhere online. Cause someone said something mean. Are all the individual game publishers going to follow suit next? Everyone kept dismissing the people who complain about those extra accounts being unnecessary, just a fake email. Look what happened. There's more and more all the time. MS owns Bethesda and Activision and won't even phase those out to simplify things for everyone. But yeah, I 100% agree with this comment that, you know, like about the kids online, them being irresponsible, parents being irresponsible, and all this other stuff. But anyway, but anyway, Mia, what are your thoughts on this? On this, and like I said, please don't. And again, give me a second. And again, please leave those kind of conspiracy theories out of the comments. I don't mean that to be rude. I just get really uncomfortable reading some of them, and I really don't want to see that kind of stuff. And same thing for politics. So please leave that stuff out. But yeah, other than that, what are your thoughts on the whole thing? Think this whole bullcrap needs to stop? Because honestly, I sure do, and that's probably a dumb question. But yeah, like I said this is so stupid, and it just really needs to stop. But anyway, I I just had to make this, just kind of get it out of my system, and just kind of fill you guys in on the whole shit that's happening at the moment with that. And yeah, anyway, and I don't ever do this kind of stuff, but it is extremely rare. But anyway, oh, by the way, real quick, I am slowly but surely getting more funny moments in video games. You know, like little glitches that have started happening to me again. Little moments have started popping up more and more. So you can probably expect one probably within the next month, probably. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. See you then. Bye.